As someone who has been interviewing people for a living for a while now, I can tell you that in the interview process, it is inevitable for you as a candidate to talk about a time when something did not work out very well. And those are the interview questions that trip people up every time. So today we are going to talk about the best ways to respond to those. But before we do that, if we haven't met yet, my name is Kim. I am a big tech recruiter and career advancement expert. I help professionals make more money. If you are interested in landing a new job without all of the stress or confusion, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you back here again. So let's give a little bit of context in regards to why we ask questions like that in the first place. Like I mentioned before, it is inevitable for you as a candidate to be asked at least one question about a time that something didn't work out very well. Usually about a missed deadline, conflict with a coworker, a mistake that you made, things like that. Typically, questions where you have to talk about mistakes from your past are formulated within a behavioral interview question. To respond to those, you want to use the STAR method. I did a previous video on how to use the STAR method, so take a look if you want to refresh the basics. If you're not familiar with the STAR method, it's an acronym for a framework to answer those behavioral interview questions. And the acronym stands for situation, task, action, result. STAR. If you get a question that says, tell me about a time you missed a deadline, the result piece is, I did all of these things, and ultimately you missed the deadline. And that's the end of your story. Folks, you don't want that to be the end of your story. Trust me. So this is what you want to do instead. Add an extra R to the end of the STAR method for reflection. By doing that, you are going to show that you have a growth mindset. Here are a few ways that you can do that. Okay, you missed the deadline. What did you learn to make sure that I got things done on time? What mechanisms did you implement so that the human error component didn't take place anymore? Or you can just reflect on how would you have handled it differently? Okay, I made the mistake and I see where things went wrong, and I'm going to take ownership of that mistake. Or maybe you realize that the reason for the missed deadline was because of a skill set gap. So you signed up for some continuing education classes or found a mentor to help you fill that gap. Allow me to explain the goal here. You see, behavioral interview questions, and frankly, interviews in general, they are a potential new employer's attempt to predict your future behavior based off of your previous behavior. That's why they ask questions like that. It's not a red flag necessarily that you made a mistake at work. As you know, everyone makes mistakes at work every once in a while. In fact, in my experience, it's a far greater likelihood to see it as a red flag if a candidate can't think of any mistakes that they've made in the past. That is a bigger concern. The nature of these questions are not to try to catch you in a mistake or put you in a corner to defend yourself. It's actually the opposite. What we want to see is, what does this person do now that the mistake has been made? This is where you want to show your growth mindset. You want to show that you can take ownership of your mistake, that you take yourself seriously as a professional and as a teammate, and you have enough introspection to say, you know what? I see where I fell short here and here, and I'm going to work to improve upon that. Sometimes it's a quick and easy fix or something that can happen instantaneously. If it's a skill set gap, it might be identifying, this is going to take me a little bit of time to get up to speed, but I know I can learn it under the right circumstances. So I am going to be proactive in identifying the right circumstances so that I can contribute to the team in a positive way. The interview panel wants to see how candidates would behave as a teammate because they're not hiring someone just to do the skill set of the work. They're hiring someone to be part of the team, someone that they want to rely on, bounce ideas off of, and work together to solve problems. If you approach the answers to those questions through that lens, you are going to come up with a great response to a not so great question. Thanks so much for watching my video. Like I said, subscribe to my channel. I post twice a week about tips on how to find a job, and I would love to see you back here again. And please forward this video to someone who's currently looking for work and that you think this is going to help them out. Thanks again. Happy job hunting, and bye-bye.